Ever felt the silent wrath of a Scorpio? The cold stare, the sudden distance, the feeling that something's coming, but you don't know when? This isn't just intuition. Scorpios are masters of emotional depth and quiet revenge. Today, we'll take you inside the Scorpio psyche with 20 reasons why betrayal cuts deeper than you could ever imagine. And trust me, you'll want to see reason number 8. It reveals a side of Scorpio few ever live to talk about. Before we begin, feel free to share your zodiac sign and birth date in the comments. I love reading them. Let's get started. Number 20. They have an emotional elephant memory. Scorpios don't just remember facts or details. They remember feelings. The way a betrayal felt. The moment they realized you lied. The silence after your words cut deep. They might forgive on the surface, but deep down, they never forget. Their emotional memory works like a vault, recording every betrayal with vivid clarity. And while others may move on, convincing themselves that time heals everything, Scorpios know better. Time doesn't erase. It sharpens. It gives them perspective. And sometimes, it gives them a plan. You could betray them today and believe everything is fine years later. But they've kept a file in their heart, and they will act when you least expect it. This isn't about pettiness. It's about principle. For them, trust is sacred, and once broken, it can never be whole again. This deep, visceral memory makes forgetting a Scorpio's pain nearly impossible. They might never bring it up. They might even smile at you. But rest assured, they remember. And when the time is right, you'll see just how permanent that memory really is. Number 19. Revenge is an art form to them. A Scorpio doesn't lash out in the heat of the moment. That's too easy. That's what amateurs do. Scorpios take revenge personally and artistically. When you betray a Scorpio, you ignite something in them that's far more dangerous than anger: focus. They won't scream. They won't throw things. They'll vanish into thought. And what comes next is a carefully crafted masterpiece of consequences. It might be days. It might be years. But when they strike back, it's so precise, so poetic, you'll know it was them. And you'll know why. They don't just want to hurt you, they want you to understand why you're hurting. They want the lesson to last. This isn't about cruelty. It's about balance. They give loyalty with their whole soul, and if you turn on them, they will restore that balance in a way only they can. Only a Scorpio can make vengeance feel like justice wrapped in silence. Because when they come for you, it won't be loud. It won't be rushed. It will be perfect. And it will be unforgettable. Number 18. They're deadly observers. Scorpios don't just watch people. They read them. They sit quietly in rooms where others are loud, collecting information like a predator in tall grass. Every gesture, every flicker of emotion, every contradiction, you might think you're being charming, but a Scorpio has already spotted the insecurity in your smile. They can see the lie forming in your throat before you even speak. And they never forget what they see. This ability makes them powerful allies but terrifying enemies. Because if you betray a Scorpio, you're not just facing someone who's hurt, you're facing someone who already knows how to destroy you. Your soft spots, your secrets, the things you wish no one ever noticed, they've seen them all. They don't need to shout or threaten. They just need to aim. Their eyes are weapons, and their mind is a vault of every detail you've ever revealed, intentionally or not. That precision in observation makes underestimating a Scorpio one of the worst mistakes you can make. You might think they didn't notice, but they did. And if the moment comes, they'll know exactly where to strike. Think we've covered everything? Guess again. Number 17. They never show their cards. Scorpios live in the shadows of emotion, strategy, and silence. While others wear their hearts on their sleeves, Scorpios keep theirs locked behind layers of mystery. They listen more than they speak. They nod instead of confront. And when they do speak, it's never by accident. Every word is measured. Every silence is intentional. This makes them incredibly hard to read and almost impossible to predict. You might believe you're 2 steps ahead of them. You might think you've won an argument or manipulated a situation. But here's the truth: if you think you've outplayed a Scorpio, it's only because they allowed it. And when the truth surfaces, it's often too late to do anything about it. That hidden depth gives Scorpios an upper hand you won't even see coming. Because you never know what they're really thinking, or how long they've known your intentions. When they strike back, it will seem like they appear out of nowhere. But they were always there watching, calculating, and waiting for the perfect moment to let you know you were never in control. Number 16. Their silence hurts more than 1,000 screams. When you betray a Scorpio, don't expect drama. Expect silence. The kind of silence that doesn't just fill a room, it freezes it. A Scorpio's silence isn't avoidance. It's punishment. It's a cold, deliberate wall that rises between you and them, built brick by brick with every ounce of pain they felt. And what's worse, that silence speaks. It tells you you're no longer worth their words, their time, or their energy. They won't argue. They won't explain. They'll simply vanish emotionally, leaving you with the echo of what you broke. This quiet detachment is more brutal than any scream, because you'll replay everything in your mind, trying to figure out where it all went wrong. That haunting stillness becomes a reminder that your access has been permanently revoked. Because when they go silent, it's not confusion, it's clarity. They've made their decision. They've closed the door. And they don't need to slam it. They just let it shut slowly, with a finality that hits harder than any loud goodbye ever could. Number 15. They turn pain into power. Pain doesn't weaken a Scorpio, it fuels them. When something breaks them, they don't stay shattered. They collect every piece, sharpen the edges, and build something stronger. Their resilience isn't just impressive, it's terrifying. Because when you think they should be destroyed, they rise instead, wiser, colder, and more dangerous. Betrayal doesn't leave them broken. It leaves them transformed, stronger, more focused, more impenetrable. What hurts others for years becomes the fuel Scorpios use to evolve. And if you were the cause of that pain, you can be sure they will never forget it. This transformation is not about healing in peace, it's about becoming untouchable. That's the kind of transformation that turns betrayal into your worst mistake. Because even if you try to break them, you'll only create something stronger. And when they come back, they'll no longer be the version of themselves you once knew. They'll be the version shaped by pain, sharpened by fire, and built to never be broken again. You didn't destroy them. You gave them a reason to rise higher than ever. Number 14. They are naturally intense. There's no halfway with a Scorpio. No lukewarm emotions, no polite affection, no shallow loyalty. They love deeply, fight fiercely, and live with passion in everything they do. When they care about you, they go all in. But that same intensity becomes lethal when they feel betrayed. If you cross them, the emotional fire they once used to protect you now burns against you. Their emotions are a force of nature, beautiful when they flow in your direction, but destructive when turned the other way. That's what makes their loyalty a blessing and their wrath unforgettable. Their intensity isn't just emotional, it's transformative. They don't just react. They feel every second of what you've done. And when the switch flips, you'll see how dangerous someone can be when they stop holding back. What once made you feel special will become the very thing that overwhelms you. Their love and loyalty are unmatched, but so is the storm that follows a broken bond. Don't ever mistake their silence for indifference. Behind it burns the fire of someone who feels everything, especially betrayal. Number 13. They see your darkness and accept it. Scorpios aren't afraid of your flaws. In fact, they probably noticed them before you did. They don't love people for the image they present. They love people for the truth they hide. This is what makes them such powerful partners and dangerous enemies. Because when a Scorpio loves you, they know your shadows and embrace them. But if you betray them, they'll use that same knowledge to bring your darkness into the light. Not out of spite, but out of justice. They accepted your chaos, your pain, your secrets. And in return, you betrayed their trust. That's a line you never want to cross. Because now, they know where your shame lives. And they will make sure you feel what it's like to be exposed. That's why betraying them is like setting fire to someone who once held your secrets like gold. They don't just know who you are, they know who you're afraid to be. And once you hurt them, they'll no longer protect your secrets. They'll show you what it feels like to face the very things they once accepted in silence. It gets even better from here, just wait. Number 12. They control their emotions, and yours too. Scorpios have mastered their emotional world, and that mastery extends to the people around them. They don't just understand feelings. They command them. Their presence is magnetic. Their silence makes you nervous. Their words hit harder than expected. When a Scorpio wants to, they can seduce you with a look, calm you with a phrase, or shake your confidence without raising their voice. This is not manipulation, it's intuition backed by power. And when you betray them, you realize just how much control they had. You thought you were leading the game, but they were directing every move. Their ability to remain composed while everyone else unravels is terrifying. And once the emotional tie is broken, they won't beg, cry, or plead. They'll simply let go. Coldly. Quietly. And you'll feel the loss more than they will. That's the moment you realize they were always 10 steps ahead, silently watching. Because while you were playing with hearts, they were reading your soul. And now that they've withdrawn their energy, you'll understand just how powerful it was. Number 11. Their intuition is a weapon. Scorpios don't need proof to know the truth. They feel it. Deeply. Instantly. While others rely on logic and patterns, Scorpios pick up on the vibe. The shift in your tone. The way your eyes flinch when you lie. The pause before your answer. You might be able to fool anyone else, but not them. Their intuition is razor sharp, and it cuts through excuses like glass. That's what makes betraying them so foolish. They'll sense something's wrong before you even say a word. And they won't confront you until they're absolutely sure. Because once they know, they don't ask. They act. And by the time you realize it, the damage is already done. You never had a chance to explain, because they already saw through the performance. That's why lying to them is like trying to hide a flame in the dark, it always gets seen. You might think you're hiding your lies behind a smile, but they can smell betrayal like smoke in the wind. And when they strike back, it will be without hesitation, because they knew before you even spoke. Number 10. They don't need approval. Scorpios aren't here to please anyone. They don't shrink themselves to fit in. and they definitely don't need you to like them. What matters to a Scorpio is being real, not being liked. That's exactly why they are so intimidating. They don't chase validation. They chase truth. And when someone betrays them, they won't waste time wondering what they did wrong. They'll look you in the eye, accept what happened, and cut you off like you never existed. You'll be left wondering why they're so calm, so unaffected. It's because they never needed your approval in the first place. This unshakable self-respect makes betraying them a permanent mistake. Because they won't beg. They won't crumble. They won't care about public opinion or emotional drama. They know who they are. And if you cross them, they won't try to win you back, they'll let you go, and you'll never get close again. Scorpios move in silence, but their absence is loud. You won't realize how much they mattered until they're gone, and they will leave without hesitation. Number 9. They are soul strategists. Scorpios don't just understand emotions, they study them. They read people like open books, sensing motivations, fears, and hidden truths before you even speak. They don't play checkers with feelings. They play chess with your soul. A Scorpio knows what drives you, what breaks you, and what you're too afraid to admit. That insight makes them deeply empathetic allies and dangerous enemies. Because if you betray them, they already know how to dismantle you. Quietly. Perfectly. No need for chaos, just precise, emotional exposure. That level of insight makes crossing them a deeply unwise choice. They don't just feel emotions, they understand how they work. And when you cross them, they won't explode. They'll calculate, strategize. And when they finally act, you'll realize they've been 10 steps ahead all along. They gave you space to be honest. You chose to betray. And now, they'll use that same emotional map they once used to protect you, to undo you. They understand the soul, and once you've hurt theirs, they won't rest until you feel the cost. Surprised yet? You'll be even more after this. Number 8. They awaken intense passions. Being close to a Scorpio is not a light experience. It's intense, consuming, unforgettable. They bring out emotions you didn't know you had. Love feels deeper. Desire feels stronger. Pain feels sharper. And not everyone can handle that. Some run from it. Others get addicted. But once you've felt it, you're never the same. That's why betrayal cuts even deeper. Because you weren't just close to a person, you were immersed in their emotional world. You tasted intensity, connection, depth. And now that it's gone, everything else feels dull. That emotional imprint is the scar you'll carry forever. Because even when the relationship ends, the emotional imprint remains. You won't forget them. You can't. They awaken something primal, something you might not be ready for. And if you hurt them, the passion they gave you will turn into silence that screams. Scorpios don't do casual. They do real. And once you lose access to that level of connection, nothing else compares. Betraying them means losing something you may never feel again. Number 7. They master the art of mystery. With a Scorpio, you're never quite sure where you stand. They can look at you with desire or detachment, and you'll never know which. They reveal just enough to keep you drawn in, but never enough to be fully understood. And that mystery, it's not accidental. It's intentional. Scorpios are masters of control, and their silence speaks louder than words. When you think you're close, they're observing. When you think they're vulnerable, they're testing you. That depth, that uncertainty, it's magnetic, but also dangerous. You might fall in love with the idea of them without ever really knowing who they are. And if you betray them, That mystery becomes your punishment. They won't fight. They'll vanish. And you'll be left wondering what was real. That vanishing act becomes your haunting reminder of what you lost. Because you never saw the full picture. You thought you were safe. But you were in their game all along. They know how to make you feel special and how to disappear so completely, you'll question if they were ever real. Number 6. They are magnetic and dangerous. Scorpios draw people in without even trying. Their energy is intense. Their eyes seem to see through you. Their presence makes people curious and nervous. That magnetism is part of their power. But make no mistake, it's also a warning. If you're on their good side, that energy can make you feel protected, seen, desired. But if you betray them, that same magnetism turns dark. They don't need to raise their voice or seek revenge in loud, obvious ways. Their silence is enough to shake you. Their distance feels like a curse. And if they do strike back, it won't be dramatic, it will be precise, unforgettable, and deeply personal. That silent power is a force you'll regret awakening. Because when they walk away, they take your peace with them. And when they decide to return, it's not for reconciliation, it's to remind you why they should never have been crossed. Scorpios don't need to be cruel to be terrifying. Their energy does the work. And once you've turned it against you, there's no going back. Number 5. They don't fear conflict. Scorpios don't shy away from confrontation. They don't play games to keep the peace or avoid difficult situations. If you cross them, they'll confront you without hesitation. But here's the thing, Scorpios don't need to yell, argue, or escalate things. Their presence alone is enough to command attention. They speak with such precision and intensity that silence becomes their most powerful weapon. You won't intimidate them with passive-aggressive tactics or attempts to gaslight them. They will look you in the eyes, say exactly what they need to say, and leave you standing there, caught in the truth. When you betray a Scorpio, you'll face more than just anger. They don't run from conflict, they embrace it, and they use it as an opportunity to reveal the truth. While other people might sugarcoat things or walk away, Scorpios stand firm, even when things get tough. And if they decide you're no longer worth their time, you won't even see it coming. Scorpios have a quiet way of asserting themselves that leaves no room for doubt. And that's why betraying them isn't just unwise, it's unforgettable. We're just scratching the surface. Ready for more? Number 4. They have emotional radar. Scorpios have a keen sense for detecting lies, manipulations, and hidden emotions. You can fool everyone else, but you won't fool them. Their emotional radar is so sharp, they sense shifts in energy before words are even spoken. A simple change in your tone, the smallest flicker in your eyes, Scorpios catch it all. They read people on a level most can't comprehend. This ability isn't just about sensing when something's off, it's about understanding the deeper layers of what's being hidden. And when you betray them, it's not just about what you say, it's about what you didn't say. Scorpios feel your guilt, your shame, your resentment, and they don't need to ask questions. They already know. They'll never confront you outright, but trust, they've already filed away the information. So, when the betrayal becomes undeniable, they won't be shocked. They'll have already anticipated it. The real danger here is not just that Scorpios know. It's that you don't even know they know. And that's a powerful reason why crossing a Scorpio is a decision you'll regret. Number 3. They destroy you with elegance. When a Scorpio seeks revenge, they don't need loud confrontations or public drama. They are not about making a scene. Instead, They work in silence, precisely, calmly, and with an elegance that's chilling. You won't see it coming. They won't announce their intentions or warn you. They'll dismantle you with a grace that leaves you breathless, wondering what went wrong. Scorpios don't seek to destroy you out of spite. They simply want you to feel what you made them feel. The key here is timing. They know when to strike, and they know exactly how to use your actions against you. Revenge, for them, is a calculated art. By the time you realize what's happening, it's already too late. Scorpios don't need to scream or shout to make an impact. Their silence is a weapon that cuts deeper than any word could. And when they're done, they'll be gone, no closure, no explanation. Just the echo of your own actions, returned with interest. This is why betraying a Scorpio is never just a mistake. It's a lesson you'll never forget. Number 2. They rise like the phoenix. Scorpios don't stay down for long. Every time life knocks them down, they come back stronger, smarter, and more determined. Pain doesn't break them, it refines them. They learn from every betrayal, every loss, and every hardship. What doesn't kill them makes them an even more formidable force. They are the embodiment of resilience, always rising from the ashes like a phoenix. If you've hurt a Scorpio, don't think for a moment that you've won. They'll transform the pain you caused into the fuel they need to grow. And when they return, they won't be the same person you knew. They will be sharper, more focused, and harder to touch. Betraying a Scorpio doesn't crush their spirit, it ignites a fire inside them. You might think you've won for a moment, but their comeback is inevitable. And it's something you won't be ready for. This is one of the most powerful reasons you should never betray a Scorpio. They may fall, but they will rise stronger than before, and more dangerous than you could ever imagine. Number 1. If you lose them, they don't come back. A Scorpio is loyal to the core. When they love or trust someone, they invest their whole being into that connection. But if you betray that trust, it's over. Scorpios don't offer second chances. They don't believe in rebuilding something that's already broken. When they walk away, they do so with finality. The door is shut. Forever. There are no drawn-out discussions or attempts at salvaging the relationship. If you lose a Scorpio's trust, you lose them entirely. And that's one of the most powerful reasons you should never betray a Scorpio. Because what you lose isn't just a person, it's their loyalty, their devotion, and their unwavering commitment to you. Scorpios are the kind of people who would stand by you no matter what. But if you betray them, you'll never get that kind of loyalty again. They won't return to fix things or try again. They'll just move on and rebuild their life without you. And when they do, you'll be left with the painful realization that you've lost something irreplaceable. Scorpios don't come back. They leave. And that absence is permanent.